David Farley has won a hotly contested pre-selection battle and will be the candidate for Pauline Hanson's One Nation party at the May 9 Farrer by-election. Party members attended a closed-door vote in Albury, New South Wales, before Mr Farley was revealed to be on the ticket, and he joins me now. How are you feeling? Are you ready for May 9?
Definitely ready for May 9. Feeling incredibly honoured to have the opportunity to represent Farrer, and especially more importantly, honoured to be with a pretty courageous political party, the One Nation.
Yeah, I was there a few weeks ago and certainly talking to punters on the street. Many people are mentioning One Nation, so there is momentum there from what we can tell. So since Farrer's creation, 1949, there's only been 4 MPs that have represented that seat. They've all been from the coalition. This by-election is a 4-way competition of right-wing candidates. So you're facing the Liberals, Nats and an independent as well. So what makes One Nation stand out in that mix?
I think the main thing that makes One Nation stand out is that One Nation is responsible directly to the constituents. It doesn't have to negotiate with a coalition agreement. And more importantly, One Nation has got machinery in Canberra that can make and affect an effective representative from the lower house to get passage of bills to the upper house. And ultimately that machinery that they've got gives a chance to put performance in place.
One Nation proposes cutting migration dramatically to around 130,000 visas a year. How would that affect labour shortages in agriculture and health in that region?
The big thing about One Nation is we're really saying we've got to have good agriculture, we've got to have good immigration policy that suits the labour demands of Australia. And the reality of the cut it becomes about what is seasonal requirements that will be needed.
Another big issue, of course, in that part of the world is water buybacks. And previously, One Nation has said it wanted to cap water buybacks in the Murray-Darling Basin to prioritise farming. Is that still the policy that you will be taking to this by-election on May 9?
Water in itself is ultimately a security asset of Australia. Water needs to move itself out of the narrative of being an environmental asset to being a sovereign asset, an asset that protects Australia, grows food for Australia, and puts resilience in these regional communities. Water is the lifeblood of all communities, and more importantly, it's the security of Australia.
One Nation polled around 6.6% in Farrer in 2025. Now, that was very similar to the national vote at the time, but now, of course, opinion polls have risen to around 20%. Your main competition probably is Michelle Millthorpe in Albury. She won most of those Albury booths. It's kind of the opposite for you. You're a farmer. I imagine that many people out in the communities, out in the rural areas might relate to you a little bit more. How are you going to win the voters in Albury?
Albury's a massive service industry to agriculture and agribusiness. The reality is that agriculture underwrites the employment of health, audit, engineering and a whole host of industries. So One Nation and myself will be doing a lot of work in Albury in particular to prosecute the case of not only why is water important, why is One Nation more capable of delivering a better future for Farrer. Albury is very, very important to us.
And just before I let you go, just tell the audience a bit about yourself. You've had a very expansive career in agriculture and agribusiness as well, all over the world.
I've enjoyed and had a great career. I started my life as a jackaroo. I took a cotton enterprise in northern New South Wales from 400 acres to 68,000 acres. I've headed up a recovery effort of a large farmers cooperative in California, lived in the south of America, the US of America, working with large corporates, and then returned to Australia and ran the Australian Agricultural Company across northern Australia. So, agriculture and agribusiness has been my career, and I look forward to using the experiences I've had in that career now to help the constituents of Farrer.
And the Nationals are due to elect their candidate tomorrow, with the Liberals yet to nominate theirs, so we'll have to wait a little bit longer to find out your competition. Thank you for joining us tonight, and congratulations on the pre-selection as well.
Thank you very much.
Authorised by Pauline Hanson, 12 Baronia Road, Brisbane.